Here is a set of vintage C9 Christmas lights. The story goes at the condo location. I've talked about it in other videos, even during the tour of the condo with the Christmas lights. Basically, because this is a secondary location, it kind of gets what's left over in terms of Christmas decorations from the main location. Also done the tour of that one. So check out the channel if you haven't seen the Christmas lights there. And we use this place, not all the time, but we use it off season, and it's kind of fun. So we've been decorating it as we spend time here. And I wouldn't say the reject lights get here and decorations. It's kind of like the main location kind of gets cramped with decoration. So we put stuff that either we think might get not damaged, but it can be more appreciated out in the open versus kind of stuffed in the corner there. For example, I talk about in the video here of the ceramic trees and have one in the center of the table here. As much as I would like to have it in the other location, you walk in and it's right here and you see it versus it kind of being off to the side in the other location. Anyway, so I thought I wasn't going to buy anything for here. I just thought I'd use the extra stuff, as I said. However, it's me, and I get crazy. So I started looking on Marketplace, and a lot of things on Marketplace based on the area that I live in is too far away, or it's just stuff that's not interesting to me. So occasionally I would pop in Christmas lights, and yeah, there's tons of minis, tons of LEDs, but I really wanted C9s, and I wanted vintage, not just vintage, or I should say C9s that like I can go to the store today and buy. I wanted authentically vintage, because I thought, if I find them in nice shape, I'll use them indoors here, because we have 4 flights of stairs with these wooden railings, and they would look really cool going up the railings. And using the opaque lights, you're not gonna burn anything with them where this is. It's not gonna get too hot for the application. So needless to say, this lady that lived nearby was basically unloading a storage locker an hour and a half away, and she was gradually bringing stuff here and listing it. And of course, I naturally did ask her about everything that she has, and she had a lot of decorations, like ceramic trees, like displays and whatnot. I just, from the sake of storing it, and again, I didn't want to get nutty with this location, or my premise was, well, at least with lights I can repurpose them somewhere else. Say if I don't decide not to decorate here again in the future, or I have a need for them at the main location, where physical decorations, we're about maxed out over there. So I declined this. She has a ceramic tree, and collectively between my son and I, we have 4 full-size ones, a few of the mini battery operated ones, and I'm about to get another one as a Christmas gift from my mother, who made the original ones in the 70s and 80s. She's making another one, because I asked her for one. It'd be cool to have a current one to match the vintage ones. So with these, what I thought was really, really cool, she initially said she had 2 sets of vintage working Christmas lights, and I saw this, and I know that these are really, really old. I remember as a little boy in the 1980s, my parents had sets like this outside, and they weren't even, you couldn't even buy these in the early 80s, because she said, oh, your grandparents gave them to me because they're not using them anymore. And they were from this, in that case, I think they were from the 60s or at least the 70s. So I'm venturing to guess that that's how old these are. And when I saw the pictures online, I thought they could be in junky shape and whatnot. These must have been used indoors their entire life. There is no weathering on these. There's no fraying. These were well loved and gently used. And that's my intention. These will not go outside. These will be used inside. So she advertised 2 sets. And when I got there, she goes, there's actually 3 sets here. She's like, but I'm not going to charge you more. This set is very similar to sets I currently have now, because it has actually a fused plug. However, I have sets like this left, like basically hanging on from the 90s in the early 2000s. So this could be from the 90s. And I tell you, you buy these in the store today, and I bought them after Christmas is over on sale. There's such a difference in the insulation. And I talk about this, if you order C9 stringers from 1000bulbs.com, they feel more like this because those are commercial grade, and there is a difference versus the garbage Chinese made lights that have like the GE label on it or whatever, Westinghouse or whatever else that's out there today. So I'm going to do the same here because it was clear to me that these were always used indoors. So these will be designated indoor sets, and I will keep them separate from my outdoor stuff because typically I throw all the C9s in 3 different trunks I have, but these will be left separate. Now this was funny. And by the way, I want to comment on this in a second. She's like, I also have a box of 92 incandescent bulbs. And I said, okay, I'll take them. As you guys know, in the main location, I retrofit C9s with LEDs. And I know, I know a lot of people will scream at me. The purist will scream at me for that. Others will say, I get what you're doing. So I have bushes and shrubs and whatnot that have a mix of incandescent and LEDs. And kind of I've been retrofitting them. However, if I catch incandescents on sale after Christmas and I happen to be in a store, I grab a few packs. And I still like to mix them in and use them. Now, I was unaware of this until I was watching another fellow YouTuber decorate the indoor living space of his home. He was decorating them with a set that looked like this, and he had commented they were his grandfather's set, which timing would line up with how old this is. And what comment he made was that they had gaskets on the bulbs or the socket, so if you were using them in an outdoor application, the gasket would protect the moisture getting in. I had never seen that before, because the last time I had one of these in person, I was a little boy and I wouldn't have known. However, if you look on some of these, you can see the gasket. Now, I wasn't really looking for it, so I didn't notice until I just on camera picked up this spare bulb out of this box, and that has one of the gaskets on it. So super, super cool. I'm going to preserve the gaskets while they won't need to be used because I am not putting these outdoors. It's just a neat thing. It's a sign of the times, the quality and the thought that went into building and making something. And there's a reason why something like this still exists today. It's because, gosh, you mildly take care of it, it'll last. So super cool. I don't know if this is a dead bulb because it's weird that this would be in the spare bulb box with the gasket on it. So let's do something really quick. Let's have a little fun. Whoops. I was talking to my son on the phone before this video, and he's like, hey Dad, what have you been up to all weekend? Because I didn't see him this weekend. He was off doing some other things. And I just said, boys will be boys. It doesn't matter what age you are if you're into this stuff. I was into this stuff when I was his age. I'm into this stuff when I'm my age. And when we were on FaceTime, I showed him these boxes, which was on the counter off camera there. And then on this counter, I had filmed a video with a box fan. So he's like, well, I guess whether I'm there or not, you're still doing the same things. And it's true. If you're into a hobby, you're into a hobby. What's also neat about this is they have these these bulbs loose. They have these pieces here. It's almost like it's to keep the wires together. Now, these are really wrapped up tight. Oh, okay. Like they even went to like there is twine holding the other set together, and there's a ribbon or something, so it's holding this together, which I think is neat. Just so cool. Just really, really cool. And so I FaceTimed him and I showed him these, and he was like, "Wow, Dad!" And it's like, I can't wait to mess with those non-polarized plug. It looks to me that these are not sets of 25. So maybe these were more like novelty lights for something, because notice how these are all blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that. So not necessarily going to go up my whole railing, but maybe if I join them together to one, we could do that. And I should imagine this set is a good old 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's shorter. That means it would be older, because you can't really get sets unless you make them yourself shorter than 25 these days. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at this one, and I'm gonna turn the light off. Just bear with me while I turn the lights off. So one time where I need less lighting, which I always seem to need more in here. All right, see what we got. All right. That was just loose. I noticed when I was just messing with them earlier that some of these bulbs that were just kind of loose. So let's take this is really neat. This is glass, but it's kind of like pastel or something. I don't know. This is a green one. I asked before I picked these up if all the sockets worked, because I do have a vintage set from the 80s and all the sockets do not work. And that doesn't work. Might have been one of those things that she didn't even test. You know, it was just like, oh, we might have a bad socket. For those of you who have a little more experience with this, it's called the Gaskets on this one, who have a little more experience with this, yeah, dang it, it's the socket. For those of you, I keep repeating myself because I keep interrupting myself. For those of you who have a little more experience with this, is there a way to potentially rehab these sockets? Is it corrosion that gets on the contacts in there, or is it some type of short? That would be interesting to know. That would be a bummer if that is out. Because I really don't want to start hacking up to take the known quantity, right? Because I'm sure there's some dead bulbs in that box. Dang it. Okay. So I'm gonna leave the ones with the bad sockets open or whatever, and maybe there's a way to fix that, because it would be such a shame. These are so cool, and considering that there's only 7 bulbs on this, I don't want to that would be too bad. All right, let's try this one. All right. Let's try this. Now it's interesting that the paint is cracking on that bulb, so I wonder if it was used outside. Wait a minute. So let's take a working one. All right, that's cool. All right, let me try one like this. I'm wondering if this is a dead bulb. All right, so we got one complete set. This bulb is bad, but it has the gasket, so we don't want to lose that. I mean, I guess you could recreate the gasket in a way, like if you got washers these size, because that's all it seems to be at the hardware store, you could basically retrofit your current lights to do that. All right, we know that these two are bad. Cancel those out. All right, well, why were you flickering? This just reminds me of something I would have, like, as a boy, found in my, like, grandparents, like a drawer or somewhere. This is just the kind of stuff that I always looked for and exploring, like, older people's homes. So it gets me excited. Let's try this one. I should probably take off the twine. So somebody went to the trouble of, like, when they would put these away, of tying them up. Like, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I own, like I said, 3 trunks worth of C9s. Forget the C7s. I couldn't imagine taking the time to cut twine and tie these up. I mean, that's just really cool. All right, let's take a look here. All right. Oh, cool. Now, some of these bulbs are probably on their way out, but let's see if we just replace this blue one. Sometimes, you know, these sockets feel different than mine, even though the plug is very similar. Again, because these are not my lights, or they were not in my care, I don't know. I don't know if, like, every bulb in there works or not. And then if you get more than one bulb that's not working properly. There we go. Okay, I can see you're going to be a pain. Let's try to get another one. So we know that this socket now works over here. Okay. I hope it's the bulb and it's not the sockets that are blinking at me here. There we go. As I put these on the railing and everything, I'll do another video, of course. And if they start giving me trouble when they're on the railing, I'll swap them out. But these are canceled out. Well, there you have it. Here are my vintage C9s off of Marketplace. With the ones that have the bad sockets. Love to hear, really the one set with the 2 bad sockets. Would love to hear from you guys if you have any suggestions on how to resurrect this. I mean, yeah, there's hackery where I could just snip it and put wire nuts on it. I don't want to do that. I mean, I don't want to hack this thing up, but maybe if I take a light and look in there to see if there's corrosion or whatnot. I can't think of what else that I could possibly do, but hopefully there's something. Thanks for watching, and looking forward to the conversation in the comments. Until next time.